Hello. Hello, if you don't mind, just let me know about the levels. It's so good to see some people have already been waiting. Hello, I don't know if anyone can hear me or see me. Just give me a nice bit of feedback in the chat. That would be really cool. Talk and play to check levels. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Brad Burns, hello. Retrospective, Barker Mouse from Mars. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to play and talk. Me trying to get to grips with melodic mana before the actual stream begins. Some people coming in, you've got to let me know you're here. Let me know who's here. I can see there's 6 people in. Chat, get in that chat. Let me see who you actually are while I carry on practicing this melodic mana. I could have chosen an easy scale, but I've been practicing a lot of melodic mana stuff. I'm in B melodic mana with this 3-note per string pattern, then reluctantly using this 3-note per string pattern, and then even more reluctantly trying to use those over that mana 2/5. That lovely Jimi Hendrix chord. Back to B minor, then B minor major 7. I'm going to keep playing until I see some more comments. Just let me know who's there. Hello, Zach from the USA. What time is it where you are? 8:20 p.m. Okay, wow, brilliant. That's a nice time. I see that Brad Burns, you've sneaked out of a meeting to be here. Well, I've come with a little bit of a plan today, just to see how I feel about streaming. I know that a lot of people are doing streaming these days, and people seem to like it. I like watching it. I actually like watching art streamers, the watercolor painters. But I'm a musician, so I thought, well, what shall I do when I stream? I know, I'll just set the camera up and just talk at the camera. I'll just talk music theory. That's my favourite thing to do. And if anyone's there listening or watching, then that's fine too. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. It keeps the stream going. Also, like the stream. It helps it to reach more people. I'm going to do one more little jam over that B minor, melodic minor thing. What I've even come online for. To whoever is here. Even if there's no one here, I'm just going to just wind me up and watch me go, watch me talk about music theory. That's enough of that. Okay. Do any of you have questions about scale or chord theory or scales and chords? Am I here? Oh, UK Guitar Noodle says, am I here early or are you late? 6:15, I think I put, but I might have put a different time. If I did, then I apologise. But no, 6:15. Okay. Any questions in that chat about scale, chord, theory? And in the chat, before we even get going, I've got a question actually. Someone already asked a question way in advance. I'm going to ask a question. What's your favourite scale? If I can spell favourite, that would help. What's your favourite scale? UK Guitar Noodle is juggling dinner and shred. Will that make it say yes or no? I've just tried to ask a question. Okay, there's your question. What's your favourite scale? Yes or no? I'm actually going to leave that. I'm going to leave that as it is. Yes is your favourite scale. Someone. Yes is winning 100% so far. What's your favourite scale? Yes or no? UK Guitar Noodle, all you've missed so far is I was messing about with, oh, I've deleted it, a loop that was going so amazingly well. Everyone was telling me how amazing it was. My plane was on fire. So I've already had a question. Today, you might have seen, I've done a post about what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about scale and chord theory, very loosely based. I'm hoping that it gets a bit derailed in the chat because that will at least mean that people are watching and engaged in what I'm talking about. So feel free to derail what I'm talking about first. But Duncan, who is a long-time subscriber, he actually messaged me on the update that I did, the YouTube version of a status update, and where he asked me, when would you consider changing scale within a song? And I've been thinking about that all day, pretty much, thinking that hopefully I get it down to a nice, concise, 1 minute long answer. That doesn't exist in music, and especially in music theory. all I can say there is, my short answer to you, Duncan, is that I'd be thinking of two styles of music. Number one, that the style of music where you pick a key and, let's say, pop, rock, funk, soul, blues, where there's a chord progression that's in any given key. I wouldn't be thinking about changing scale, changing key within that. I think that might be what you're getting at, changing key. Then there's another style of music where it would transpose, things like fusion, jazz, classical music does it sometimes, where I would be thinking, I want to transpose, I want to change key within the chord progression. I want to chuck in a chord that doesn't belong to the key. I want to play the set. Wow, there's a few more people in. Brad Burns says, you like pedal tones. Oh no, you say like pedal tones. Exactly like pedal tones. If you've got... I can think E, Phrygian. As always, keep me up to speed with the levels. Aeolian. Mixolydian. Back to Aeolian by accident. And so on and so on. So a bit like modal, a bit like modal playing, or that pitch axis stuff. Duncan, I've digressed already. I suppose what I'm getting at is think of two different styles of music. One which is, I want to say the word basic, when really I should say simplistic. All those kind of words make it sound like you're saying a piece of music is bad or not as brainy. It's tough to make simple music, and even tougher to make simple music sound good. But that would stay within one key. A piece of music can transpose, though. Listen to pretty much any jazz song. Anyone here who knows me will know that I champion the world of jazz and I love jazz. Listen to any jazz recording from about 1940 to 1959 or 1962 or something, and you're going to find that hard bebop, the hard bop. That is the greatest jazz. It's not even an opinion, it's the truth. That hard bop, and it just changes key all over the place. That, what I was doing there, was changing the scale over a chord to give a different mood. What I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to try and get into the zone now. I've got my cup of tea. I'm a bit more warmed up. My voice is warmed up. I'm just going to wind myself up and go now. I'm going to talk about it. I've even got a bit of a plan. There's going to be some comments. And as I said earlier, please derail the chat. Make me talk about other things. It helps me, and you get what you want out of it if there's any questions that you've got. Also, like the stream, it shares it to more people. I'm going to talk about scale and chord theory. What is scale and chord theory? Well, to talk about scale and chord theory, you have to know what a scale is. Now, I'm not going to get way into the complete basics of it. I'm going to have to assume, because I'm talking to potentially a handful of people who are all at different levels, I have to assume a few things. And I'm going to assume that you know what a C major scale is. The C major scale, as we look at it on a computer keyboard, on a computer keyboard, that would be interesting. On a MIDI keyboard, look at this, nice and easy. No black keys. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. No black keys. On the guitar, we don't get that luxury. We just have to memorize a pattern, probably down there or wherever you want to learn it. Doesn't matter. As long as you know where a C major scale is, you'll be good to go. If any of you have got your guitar actually in your hand while you're watching this, play along, noodle along with me and see if you get the concepts that I'm getting at. So we're talking about the scale to begin with. And the major scale is made up of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I'm trying to time this. I'm already running over. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So you play notes. From that note, you play a tone. In America and possibly other countries, you refer to that as a whole note. So a C and there's a D, which is a tone. I'm going to have to switch to the English because I speak this language daily. Tone, then semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Along one string, that is very easy to do. You're thinking of a long tube of an instrument, something like a flute or a saxophone, or the human voice, a monophonic instrument that can play the root note, then tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Yes is winning out. What's your favourite scale? Yes, by a whopping 90%. I wonder who's put no. And that is actually a much more likely response when I ask kids, especially that kind of question. What's your favourite scale? No. That's usually the kind of response I get. And if they don't say it out loud, I can see it in their eyes. Oh, the youth of today. Anyway, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone gives you... I'm sorry, I just get distracted by reading comments. It gives you the major scale. So what's next then? That's the scale part of scale chord theory. That's the chord part, isn't it? What is a chord? Okay, when I wimped out of the description of what is a scale, I just said, I'm going to assume you know that, because I don't. I don't know where the major scale originated from. I've never looked into it. There's probably scholars of music who know all about the medieval stuff and all that stuff, but I don't. When it comes to chords, I'm a bit more confident in my response to what is a chord. What is a chord? I would say a chord is a series of sounds that are put on top of one another. They don't always have to sound nice. Another word that you could use to describe chords is harmony. Harmony is sometimes used by people who want to sound fancy and talk about chords, but they don't. They just say harmony. And, you know, even though we can think about harmony as the classic, and then the other, whatever that minor third or that third harmony would be over the top, that is also harmony. All the Thin Lizzy stuff, the twin guitar attack, that stuff is harmony. But it also refers to chords. This is harmony. And this, all those campfire song chords that you all know. Where was I? Okay, so the origins of a chord then is or harmony itself is to find a note and then to find another note. Anything. It doesn't have to sound good. This is a harmony. It doesn't have to sound good. But a good place to start is to use the major scale. You see all those pauses? I edit those pauses out when I do the videos. Those 10-minute nice little chunks of 10 minutes. No such luck here. You're going to hear all my ums and ahs and wrong notes. You have the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If you were to play the note C, and then jump over the next note and play that third note, that would give you the note E. Jump over the next note and play the G. Instead of playing C, D, E, F, G, you play C, G. That's impossible to play along one string. Imagine you've got a choir. You would tell someone over there. Anyone who has lessons with me, by the way, you've heard all this. These are all my analogies I'm bringing out the bag. You've got a choir. You go, hey, you sing C, you sing E, and you sing G, and you go 3, 4, ba. Everyone sings C, E, G. There's your chord. This is our choir. We've got 6 strings. We've got a 6-piece choir. We're limited by fingers and strings. So if you find the notes C, E, and G on different notes, different strings, that makes it possible to play chords. So that first chord is C major. Okay. Now, this is where things get really interesting, because I'm not just going to talk about harmony. I'm here to talk about scale chord theory. After I've had a sip of drink, I'm going to have a quick look at the comments. I'm a bit of a slurper, sorry. I hope it doesn't pick up. Beer Hounds, Beer Reviews. It's hard to be creative with only 7 notes and zillions of octaves. It is hard to be creative. It's hard to be creative and make it sound like you're not just playing scales. That's one of the trickiest bits of shred guitar, I think. Not just music, shred guitar. Brad Burns, if you look at it as numbers, it seems to make it easier to navigate multiple strings. Root 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Exactly. Seago Guitarist, so glad you're here. So many familiar usernames here. That was my wrist. So many familiar usernames. It's incredible. Matt says hello. Hello, Matt. Blended Octaves, says Beer Rounds. I'm not sure what blended octaves are. That sounds really interesting. Up the Irons, says JD. Did I ever upload? I think I uploaded a acoustic cover of The Trooper by Iron Maiden. Yeah, acoustic. Have a look on my channel. I think I did. I can't remember. I used to play that live, way back. I should bring it back. Smoke on the Water. I don't know. I can't do it. Okay, the remaining part of this video, or this live stream, I'm going to sneak in a Smoke on the Water over some demonstration. You have to spot it and let me know when I've done it. Okay, I have to come back to the comments because I like them derailing me, but I was about to go on to something else. So we've got the chord C major. And C major, as I've already said, and you may already know, is the notes C, E, and G. Okay, that's made up of the notes of a scale, of the C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that means that over that chord progression, over that chord, any note that's in the C major scale is going to sound good. Very standard sounding music. When we use that chord 1 of C major, the key of C major, and it's coincidentally the chord is called C major as well, and we play the scale C major, we're playing advert music. The new toothpaste gets your teeth whiter than any other toothpaste around. Or what other adverts? Chairs. We've got a new sale on at the chair shop. The advertisers don't want to alienate you and play death metal chords or jazzy chords. Buy our sofas, buy our sofas. That's weird. So they play nice C major stuff, usually C. I've just made that up. It could be C, could be any other key, but it's definitely major. Nursery rhymes. Okay, so in the scale, the overall key of C major, chord 1 is C major. If you were to play the second note of C major, the second note of the scale of C major, let me know in the chat if you know what the second note is of C major. I'll see it about 5 minutes after you posted it, but at least I'll know that you're with me. The second note of C major. Matt has got it. It's H. No, a few of you've got it. It's D. Okay. So then if you were to jump over the next note in the scale of C major, what would you get? You would get D, F, A. It's jumping over the next one. You now are on chord 2 of the C major scale. D minor, in other words. Playing the C major scale over the top of that, what's going to happen? Because I've shifted the emphasis of the music, you're not hearing C as the root note, because that doesn't even have the C note within it. I could put a C note within it and make it a D minor 7 chord, because to harmonise that further, D, F, A, C, and stick a minor 7th on top of it. Let's do that. Yeah. If I were to play the C major scale over the top of that, all the white keys, no black keys, I would be implying another sound. Does anyone know what sound this is? I'm no longer playing advert music. Matt, you've got it. You've got it. It's Dorian. It's Dorian. Santana's favourite. Yes, says B Rounds. It is Dorian Mode. So I'm going to talk about now. So I'm going to skip ahead because I don't care. I'm going to skip ahead to. I was going to do all the chords, and I might do. It depends how much time I've got. Yes, JD, Dorian, retrospective, Dorian. It is Dorian. I got a Dorian sound by playing D, F, A, and then I stuck a C on top. Dorian. How deep can we go into this? Right, I'm just going to blurt it out. I'm just going to blurt it all out. If I think about Dorian and I think about a characteristic note of Dorian, I'm always going to compare a minor-based mode that this is to its normal counterpart. In this case, the natural minor scale. The natural minor scale is flat and third, flat and sixth, flat and seventh. The Dorian mode is flat and third and flat and seventh, but the sixth is unchanged. Is it a natural sixth? In this case, the B. The B is natural. So I can force the sound. I can force a Dorian sound before my audience has even heard me play an improv Santana-y note by choosing a minor chord that's got that B in there as well. Sorry, I looped the playing. That's my fault. Okay, so even before playing a lead, I've told you on a subconscious level or on a conscious level, if you study this stuff, that the sixth note is not a minor sixth, it's a major sixth, giving you a Dorian taster before the lead comes in. I'm going to get onto some comments. Please keep those comments coming in. It's so good. I get into these. This is what happens when I do these streams. I always start off really tentative and a bit bothered about what I'm saying and what I'm playing. But then when I see people are actually engaging and I see the numbers of people who are in the room creeping up to double digits sometimes, don't you know? it gets me in the zone and I get excited and end up going over. But I'm not going over today. I'm finishing at 7:15. It's 1:45 now, so any questions, you've got to get them in now. Okay. Matt, this always blows my mind. Modal playing is nuts. It is. It really is. And it's tough to get your head around modal playing. It took me forever. And I can't show you anything. I can't put anything on screen. I'm not that good of a streamer yet. Anyone who uses OBS or all that cool stuff can do all the overlaying. But there is a book, one book called by Rod Ling. And there's just one page in this book that just made mods, bang, that. And then I did a video on this not too long ago, watching Joe Satriani talk about mods when he was talking about pitch axis, but it's the second part of the pitch axis video. Once you've got your head around it, it's the experimentation. That's the most fun bit about it. To do this, to get a looper. For me, it was, I'm not that old. It's just that we had a tape cassette recorder, press record and play at the same time. And after you've finished recording all your pretend radio stations with your friends, as we all did, you then get an instrument and you record the backing track and you experiment over the top with all this stuff. Then you move on. I moved on to the digital 4-track, the actual digital thing. Plug your guitar in, it's got built-in effects. Then it's DAWs or DAWs. That's the progression that I made. And loopers jumped in somewhere as well. Loopers are worth their weight in gold. Loopers are incredible things because you have to know the theory inside and out. I'm going to move on to the third chord in a moment. Talk about what it is, what sound it's going to give, and how we can force that sound with just playing the chord. Nice to see the numbers coming in. If you've just joined this stream, first of all, if you don't know who I am, I'm some bloke who talks about guitar all the time. Have a look at my channel. But leave a like and say hello in the comments. It helps it to spread, and we all take over the world together with our guitars. Matt, you knew a Dorian once. DeLorean says Seago guitarist. That is good. That is want to be interesting if you actually sat and worked that out and it was Dorian. That'd be crazy. I don't think it is though. B-Rounds, you dare me to try and create a Locrian Solo. Well, you know, the ego of me now is going, I can do that, but I don't want to skip over. The theory stands in exactly the same way. I might not reach Locrian today, but everything that I'm talking about, we'd go B, D, F, and then create a chord, B, D, F, B diminished, and then play the Locrian mode at the top, because the Locrian mode, everything's flattened apart from the root and the other thing. There's something else, can't remember, doesn't matter, it's not that interesting, but one of the other notes is also not flattened, and I'm saying that very reluctantly. We're not here for that. Okay, I could work out, but I'm not gonna. Matt, can you repeat why you chose that chord for the Dorian sound? I can, because I'm in the key of C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Look at this. I'm gonna swap it on its head. I'm gonna play a C major melody, a noodle. 3, 4, and 3, 4. I'm going to play a C major chord underneath that. It's tough to know the beat. That sounds like C major stuff. But using the same group of notes, it's already pre-recorded. I have to choose the D minor chord to make it sound Dorian, because the notes in relation to a C chord just sound like major. The notes related to an E minor chord are going to sound like Phrygian in a minute. But over the D minor chord, that's not changed. I'm shifting your focus. Especially with the... It's so cool. Hopefully that's clearer. Okay. Retrospective. I was waiting for that next too. Oh, that was a lot of tea. It's because it was getting cold. Beer hounds want me to thrash. Okay. What is the quintessential thrash song? Lawsuit. You've just got me a lawsuit. Some Metallica lawyer is going to pop his head into this cup, this empty cup of tea. Okay. What riff is this? One of the greatest thrash metal bands. I've been very lucky to see this band. Let me see. I'm getting very derailed now. I'm only going to play, I don't know how many notes, about 10 notes, and I'm going to see what thrash band you think this is. I messed it up. Just off that. What thrash band is that? One of the greatest thrash bands of all time. Okay. Beer hounds, do I know any Sean Lane riffs? Yeah. I just don't know how to play them. I know loads. I know loads of Sean Lane riffs, but only because I listen to him a lot. Brad Burns, yeah, you've got it. It's Annihilator. Something like that. Brad Burns says, when you come out with your album, you should call it Modal Shift. That is a good album name. I've been thinking of of album names. One of mine is, you know, my name is Anthony Couch. To do an album and call it Sofa, So Good, So What? It's the daftest thing ever. I don't know if sofa is even a multinational word. Sofa, S-O-F-A, it means a couch. As we all know, the best jokes are the ones that have to be explained. Okay, right. E minor is the third chord of C major. I'm so behind. E minor sounds like this. Let me delete that. E minor, E, G, B. That is definitely within the scale of C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So E minor is the third chord. The third mode is Phrygian. So if I were to just play over that, we would get that quintessential Phrygian sound. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to Couching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Very good. Yeah, Annihilator. Not Overkill, not a Death Angel, both extremely good bands. Been very lucky to see those as well. What was I talking about? I'm going to force the minor sound. I'm not going to loop over that. It's too standard. I want you to know that I'm about to do Phrygian before I even do Phrygian. What is the characteristic note of Phrygian? There are many, but there's something that sets it apart from its normal counterpart, natural minor. Does anyone know? Does anyone know what note in the key of, well, it's not a key, in the scale of E Phrygian, what note within the scale of E Phrygian makes it sound different to its natural minor counterpart. Flattened second, says Matt. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any ideas? Do people agree with Matt? F instead of F sharp. Yeah, good. And please, because there's a little group of people, we all know each other now. You have to let me know if all this is stuff you know. Because I'm assuming, I just have to assume that I might get passers-by on a live stream and they come in. I have to assume a certain base level. You need to tell me, you Phrygian. I didn't get it at first, but Matt has just helped me get it. You have to let me know. Say, okay, Anthony, yeah, we know this. But you have to let me know. Right, I'm going to force the E Phrygian sound without playing a note. My mind's wandering. Okay. I'm going to play that F. I could play it there, but I'm going to play it in the upper octave. It's a weird riff. I didn't know I was going to play that till I played it. Do all the shreddy stuff. All that stuff over the top of it. And it sounds Phrygian because I have shifted your focus with the chord that is underneath. I've not changed the notes. I could change that to a C major chord. Play the exact same stuff, try and sound all moody, but it would still sound like I'm trying to sell you toothpaste adverts. Okay, E minor, let's go on. Let's go onwards. The fourth chord of C major, let's see it in the chat. What is chord 4 in the key of C major? And what's the characteristic note of that scale? Yeah, I know this, but you explain it well, says Retrospective, and find it fills holes in my knowledge. Yes, good. Yeah, F Lydian. So F Lydian is the fourth sound in the key of C major. So I'm going to get beyond what I was talking about before, because we want to extend above just triads. We want to push this idea of scale chords as much as possible. Within the short time I've got to try and fit it all into an hour, that I'm not just going to say that chord 4 is an F major, which it is. I'm going to say that it's an F major 7 sharp 11. The reason I'm going to say it's an F sharp major 7 sharp 11 is because in order for the chord to reach the level, to reach the note that is characteristic, I have to pick up all those other notes along the way. So I could just go F, A, C, and then stick the B natural on there, because in the key of F major, the B flat is note 4 or 11. But in the key of C, there is no B flat. So we're left with F, A, C, and then this characteristic note. That's going to sound really good. That's going to work. But to name the chord by its proper name, it would have to be a major 7 sharp 11, because I want to pick up the root, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, if I've got enough fingers or strings, then that 11th. And then I look for that 11th and it turns into a B flat, and I go, oh, hang on, B flat's not in my scale. The scale always overrides the chord. You don't let, if you want to be really strict about diatonic theory, the scale always wins, and you go, okay, oh, there is no B flat. I have to play a B. So then I'd be looking at playing this kind of thing. This awkward fingering, but it's the one that I've just thought up. So we enter into Joe Satriani territory, Flying in a Blue Dream. Over that, playing the exact same C major scale, advert music, I'm going to get F Lydian sound, because every time I hit that B, which sounds like a perfectly normal major seventh in the key of C, over an F, it's going to sound like a strange sharp 11. There it is. There it is again. Okay. So I mean, we've taken the scale of C major, we've taken the concept of the key of C major, and we're rinsing it for all it's worth. We're looking at it from every possible angle by harmonizing each scale tone. We've reached chord 4, chord 5. What's chord 5? What is its corresponding mode? Let me know in the chat. And I'm going to change what's everyone's favorite scale, yes or no, to something else. While I'm doing that, tell me what is chord 5 in the key of C major, and what is its corresponding mode? And then if you want to, within that mode, what is the note that makes you go, oh, that's a mode? that's an interesting sound. End poll. So everyone's favorite scale was yes. Great poll. What's best out of I'm really tempted to make it not about guitar, just something stupid. Okay, what's best? You're gonna know my answer on this. There we go. What's best out of those two? Has it popped up? It's not popped up. There we go. Okay. Nothing to do with guitar, but that's okay. G Mixolydian, yes. G, yeah, definitely. And the Mixolydian mode is, what's the word? Is characteristic because when we compare it to its normal version, which is major, it's got a root, it's got a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, but then we reach the seventh note in the key of G major. If I'm thinking of the key of G major, there should be an F sharp there, but we're not in the key of G major, we're in the key of C major, so that scale dictating again is forcing me to play an F instead. So chord 5 in the key of C major is G major, but as I said earlier, I'm not gonna just stop at triads. We're gonna keep harmonizing until we reach the characteristic note. In this case, it's an F. It's the seventh. So it's the seventh. I'm going to put 4 notes in this chord: G, B, D, and F. What's that chord called? Let me know in the comments in the chat. UK Guitar Noodle already there. You've already done it. Chord 5 in the key of C major is what? What is this chord? What's that? G mixolydian over a dominant 7th chord. Matt says, so Phrygian and mixolydian share an F rather than an F sharp. In this key, yeah. Try not to, yeah, you're definitely right. And you guessed that the differential is when the F sharp is either the 2nd in Phrygian or the 7th in mixolydian. Definitely, but if you switch what you've just said and get rid of the hashtag and just keep it as F, then yeah, what you've just said is right. In this key, always think in formulas. Think rather than saying F sharp, make it more general by thinking the flattened 9th in a Phrygian sound is diatonically the exact same note as the flattened 2nd of a, flattened 7th of a mixolydian. Let me say that again. The flattened 9th of a Phrygian sound is diatonically the exact same note as a flattened 7th in the mixolydian. Okay. Someone challenged me to do Locrian. I'm not going to do Aeolian. Everyone and their dog plays in Aeolian. We just play, in this case it'd be A, and it would go, oh wow, I turned on a drum beat. Aeolian. I'm doing okay for time. I can squeeze in Locrian for the end. Retrospective is talking about whole tone scale. Well, again, the little thing in the back of my brain is going, do it. If I've got time, I will. Locrian. So Locrian in the key of C major is B Locrian. B, C, D, F, G, A, B. No sharps, no flats, because they're on in the parent key, if you want to think of it as that, as C major. I'm going through the Katana, yes, Brad. Retrospective is Dorian. Oh, well, maybe if I've got time. Locrian. When you harmonize Locrian, again, let's take B Locrian and go, take it out of the key of C and stick that note B into its own key, B major. When we compare those, we end up with, we can compare and contrast and go, oh, that's flattened. Oh, that's flattened as well, and that. But loads of flattened notes in the key or the scale of B Locrian. We end up with root minor 3rd and a flattened 5th. What is, let me know in the chat, what is root, flattened 3rd and flattened 5th? What kind of chord does that create? It results in this sound, but I want you to tell me in the chat, what does that result in? What is the name of this? Let's do that one, okay. Diminished, says JD. Does anyone agree with JD? Does anyone disagree? Root, flattened 3rd, flattened 5th. What is this chord? I keep accidentally looping the playing. B Locrian. I've not even talked about riffs. We can create riffs rather than just chords. Instant death metal is choosing a scale that sounds don't like using the word exotic because it's different for different people, innit? But to play something like that, that's using Locrian, and that's a riff. So there's my metal riff, D Locrian, and then I would play. All the licks, all the shreds and thrash licks over the top of that would work, and it would sound like B Locrian. Okay. Yes, go on then. Whole tone, and whole tone, the whole tone scale results in its own harmony. I've been reading a book by Mark Levine recently, and the way he describes it is that there are 4 types of harmony, scale chord theory. There's major scale chord theory that we're doing. There is whole tone, there is diminished, and there is melodic minor. And I've been getting way into the melodic minor recently. But whole tone, when you harmonize the whole tone scale, everything is a tone away from each other, it results in root, third, sharp 5, flat and 7th. What chord is that? How would you name that chord? Root. Either answer this: root third, root third, sharp and 5th, or root third, sharp and 5th with a flat and 7th on top. Does anyone know the answer to both of those? I'm going to play the chord on here. It sounds like this. It's the chord that I hear whenever any child is learning a C major chord. And they don't put finger 1 on the 2nd string for that C. Brad Burns, you've got to go to another meeting. It's so good that you skipped a meeting to be here in the first place. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, a few people going. Yeah, I'm going myself in a moment. So if you're going early, thank you for coming. It's amazing, and see you again in the future. What is this chord called? Anyone? What's that? JD, you've got it. You can tell I'm struggling when I have to look at the fretboard. It's a tough one to phrase. I'm sure there's loads of cool licks, stuff like whatever, stuff like that. It's possible. We've gone full prog. That's when it's time to stop in it. When we've gone into full prog, and we've started collapsing in on ourselves in a sea of music theory. That's when we need to go and have a minute. It's as ever so amazing that so many of you joined in. What one? Comedy films? What are you talking about? No. Let's end that poll there. No. Don't agree with that. That you've all joined in. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Stick around for more videos. You don't want to miss my next one, because you might win something if you watch my next one. And you've got a bit of a heads up if you're here now and watching this. Don't miss the next video, because you just might win something. Thanks, and I will see you all again in the very near future.